Hello everyone, welcome back for another Transformer review. This is the fourth of the terrorcons and the last of the actual smaller ones. In my opinion, out of the four smaller ones, this is the better one as a actual figure. This is Cutthroat. As you can see, he's a bird type monster. Not brilliant in the fact, there's no tail going on there. I mean, I suppose you could spin his weapon over and sort of like pretend that's some kind of tail, but it double hinges, so he's got it as his backpack sort of weapon. So I suppose he can fly and shoot. Slightly better posability with this figure and slightly better design than the other terrorcons. First of all, I'll just show you an overall sort of look around him. He's quite nicely detailed and quite nice purple Decepticon colours, and actually a little bit more unusual in the fact that they've used a bit more in the fact that they've used three colours on this figure. So you've got the purple of the wings, sort of a dark greeny turquoise for the body there, and a kind of a sandy yellow for some of the other parts, his limbs and his head and that. Rub sign, again the obligatory G1 rub sign on his, well, what would be his sort of chest cum crutch area, abdomen. But yeah, he's actually quite nice in the fact that he's a little bit more, I suppose, a little bit more poseable. In the fact that it's like with his monster head, actually does have a pivot, so you can actually have him looking forward in flight mode, and of course then when he's standing you can turn it down. I've actually sort of thought recently, where I sort of looked at him, not a million miles away from the Dark of the Moon laser beak sort of face. I wonder if that's where they got a little bit of inspiration from Cutthroat. But I'll show you his transformation. First of all, take off his weapon. You fold the wings up to the back, which brings his arms out, which are, as you can see, metal sort of pinned on, and these are actually better joints than some of the other terrorcons as well. The monster legs do the usual trick of just sort of folding back out of the way, which unfortunately makes a bit of kibble. The wings not so bad because you can sort of forgive that, in a bit like the G1 jets, in the fact that they're sticking out the back. It would have been nicer maybe if they'd been at an angle and more to the side, sort of like, I'll just put his arm in a bit like that, but then obviously that restricts the arm movement moving forward and back, so you need it at a right angle to lift them up. You can obviously extend his legs down and flip, let's get this right, flip his monster bird head down to form his chest, which obviously reveals his robot head. But like I say, he's actually, I mean, apart from the the monster legs, he's not as bulky, not so kibbly looking. Like I say, I can sort of forgive the wings because you can sort of say that's a little bit reminiscent of the G1 jets and several other Transformers. It would have been also nice if they could have really complicated the joint up and maybe spun them up a little bit as well, because that would have been a little bit like, say, the G1 6-shot sort of figure. One feature I do like about this figure is the fact, although his larger weapon fits on his back like a lot of the other ones do, and obviously, like I say, it can flip over, it actually does fit on as his hand weapon as well, and I don't believe he came with a different weapon. It's not the best sort of weapon because unfortunately you can only seem to peg it on lower down, but you can at least spin it up so it's still aiming forward, and quite a nice little sort of twin barreled sort of little weapon. But I just feel, apart from, if you forgive the monster legs, he is a little bit better than the other terrorcons. and more my favourite one out of them as far as the smaller ones go. Obviously their leader is the review I'll be doing next, and out of all of them he's the best one. But I shall obviously show you him in the next review. I think that's just about covered Cutthroat. I mean, as I say, with these G1 sort of combiner figures, there's not a lot to them. Most of the details made up in sticker applications, and that's about it really. Okay, I shall finish this review of Cutthroat and I shall get on with their leader figure.